Ahead on ABC 6 News first at 4, a Massachusetts man charged with firing shots outside of a Providence strip club, how police were able to catch him, and what you can see on surveillance video just before shots rang out. Plus, the reward tonight from the Westport police in the search for a missing man believed to be in danger. And the nonchalant attitude of former President Donald Trump in the latest probe against him. Those stories and more starting right now on First at 4.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC 6 News First at 4.
We begin with developing news at 4 o'clock. Providence police asking the public for help looking for a missing 11-year-old. Deborah Vasquez was reported missing last night around 9:45. She's known to frequent the west end of the city and could possibly be in Pawtucket. She was last seen wearing a red t-shirt, gray shorts, and she is 4 feet 3 inches tall and a thin build. If anyone has any information about her whereabouts, you're asked to contact Providence Police. Our top story at 4 o'clock, a Good Samaritan died last night trying to help out 2 swimmers in distress. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Tiffany Murphy. It happened at North Scarborough State Beach around 7 o'clock last night. That is where we find ABC 6 News anchor Alyssa Azara, who joins us live. Alyssa?
Authorities say the 38-year-old man was rescued from the water, was pulled from the water, with a rescue boat. You can actually hear the sirens going off right now, alerting swimmers of the rough waters here. Now, that man was given CPR here at the beach before he was taken to the hospital where he died. His name has not been released. Today, I spoke with a lifeguard who says the red flag is up to warn people, swim with caution. Benjamin Reddington, the lifeguard captain at the beach, says riptides have been popping up. He says if you get caught in a riptide, do not fight.
The rips can move you out, so it's important to try to swim to the side and then move in instead of trying to muscle your way through it. You get tired and that's when bad things happen. But I'd say the most important thing is to swim out of the rip to the side and then in.
With recent water recoveries across the state, DEM says if you see a swimmer struggling, the best thing you can do is call for help, be a good witness, and remember every detail to give to first responders. With the red flag being flown today, many beachgoers are just opting for sun tanning rather than going in the water. A lot of people today told me the waves are just too strong. For now, in Narragansett, Alyssa Azara, ABC 6 News.
Thanks for that update, Alyssa. Meantime, the Rhode Island DEM says East Matunic Beach is back open today for swimmers after used needles washed ashore. Officials say earlier this morning crews raked, sifted, and graded sand at the beach, clearing the shoreline of all debris. The DEM says if you do find a syringe or other biohazards at the beach, let a lifeguard or beach manager know. University of Rhode Island once again holding their shark camp for students in underserved communities to expose them to life sciences. Today they sailed out on the Narragansett Bay searching for sharks and other sea life. Providence Now reporter Daniel Coates was along for the ride.
Well, good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. You might not be able to tell, but I'm actually reporting from the Atlantic Ocean in the Narragansett Bay, where just above me is URI's shark camp, reeling in massive amounts of sea life as well as sharks that are native to this part of the Narragansett Bay and this part of Rhode Island. Now, about a dozen high schoolers from underserved communities are given this chance to come through this week-long camp, learn about sea life, learn about sharks, and be hands-on with them on the Captain Bird that's out of Wickford. Professor Weatherby of the Life Sciences Department at URI told me that this is giving students opportunities that they wouldn't have had in the past, and oftentimes kickstarting a passion for many. I spoke with plenty of counselors as well as plenty of students who came back for a second year because they were so inspired by the first year. They hope to continue this into the future and once again forge many more opportunities for these students.
So cool. First up for a live look over Providence, let's get a check of our forecast now with Providence Now Chief Meteorologist Jeff Bampton.
Hazy sunshine out here on this Wednesday afternoon. We have comfortably warm temperatures in the low 80s right now. Humidity is very noticeably lower today. It was a little muggy this morning when we still had dew points around 70, but right now the dew point here in Providence is about 61 degrees. Really, really nice stuff. Let's show you what that sky looks like right now. As I flipped the camera, got a nice little gust of wind there, a breeze out of the west or southwest around 10 miles an hour right now there. Yeah, you can see there's definitely some high cloud cover in addition to maybe still some lingering atmospheric wildfire smoke making the sky look very, very hazy. We'll show you where we stand on that front and what the rest of the week looks like. Got a little speed bump to get through before a really gorgeous weekend. Tell you all about it coming up in just a few minutes.
We will see Jeff soon. New at 4 o'clock, a Massachusetts man charged with firing a gun near a Providence strip club. AG Peter Nerona says it happened back in February outside of the Foxy Lady. 31-year-old Robert Ross was charged with 1 count of carrying a pistol without a license and 1 count of discharging a firearm within a compact area. Police say that incident happened back on February 20th when shots were fired outside of the club. Police say security footage shows Ross was kicked out of the club just moments before the gunfire erupted. A warrant was issued for his arrest and he later turned himself in. Barrington Little League asking for the public's help tonight after one of their facilities at Sherwood Field was broken into and vandalized on Tuesday. Here's Providence Now reporter Caitlin Galehouse with the details.
Sherwood Field has been experiencing recent trouble with vandalism, and the league is now asking for help. A few weeks ago, the porta potty here was tipped, the concessions door was kicked in, and pipes were damaged inside the building. At some point within the last 24 hours, the building was broken into again. Barrington Little League's PA system was stolen. Racial slurs were written both inside and outside the structure. A police report has been filed and pictures of the damage have been shared with the Barrington police. We'll have more for you on this story at 5 o'clock on ABC6 News.
Meantime, Mansfield police looking to identify this man in connection to a stolen bike. A Mansfield high school student says his black and red bike was stolen when he went inside for a weightlifting session. The department posting these photos of a man wearing a black hoodie, black pants, and a black backpack. If you have any details of who this man is on your screen right now, you're asked to contact the school's resource officer or the police department. Developing news at 4 o'clock, a $1,000 reward now being offered for information in the search for a missing Westport man. Police say Adam Watcholder, the man on your screen, has epilepsy and mental health conditions. He was last seen leaving lunch at the 99 restaurant in Falmouth on Thursday. He has a dragon tattoo on his left arm. If you think you know where he is, you're asked to contact Falmouth Police. Local political news at 4 o'clock. There's one less candidate in the race for the open 1st Congressional District seat in the Ocean State tonight. Nick Adiello announcing he is no longer running for that seat. The former aide to Governor Gina Raimondo says he is stepping aside despite qualifying for the ballot. He says he doesn't have the financial resources to win the race and thinks staying in it would serve to further confuse voters in a crowded Democratic primary. Meanwhile, a CD1 candidate also calling for a full investigation into Sabina Matos' signatures. Candidate Gabe Amo says there hasn't been accountability on Matos' side. He went on to say this issue is taking away from the real problems meant to be addressed in this election. Meantime, Newport now joining Jamestown in launching that police investigation into Sabina Matos' campaign signatures. The Newport Canvassing Authority voting today to refer a number of signatures related to the CD1 seat. This all comes after Lieutenant Governor Matos' campaign submitted names to the Jamestown Board of Canvassers that reportedly just didn't add up. Now the Rhode Island AG and Jamestown Police are investigating the issue. Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, though, responding today saying, quote, while it is clear we have submitted more than enough signatures to qualify for the ballot, I am deeply troubled by what has been reported in the news. Anyone who violated the law should be held accountable and will have no role on my campaign. Former Rhode Island Governor Philip Noel visiting the State House today. He was joined by Governor Dan McKee and Warwick Mayor Frank Picozzi. Noel was inducted into the Rhode Island Heritage Hall of Fame back in 2011. He was mayor in Warwick in 1966, serving 3 terms. He then became governor in 72 and then was reelected in 1974. Meantime, New Hampshire's Governor Chris Sununu has decided not to run for re-election in 2024. In a letter to his supporters today, the governor said he came to that decision after speaking with his wife and children weeks ago. Sununu also shut down claims for a 2024 presidential bid, citing the growing list of candidates and former President Donald Trump's lead in the polls. National political news at 4 o'clock. A federal judge denying Donald Trump's request for a new trial in the E. Jean Carroll case. Back in May, a jury found the former president liable for sexually abusing Carroll in 1996, then defaming her by denying it happened and suggesting she made it up to sell books. Trump appealed, but the judge did not agree. Carroll's attorney says she looks forward to receiving the $5 million in damages the jury awarded her. Carroll is set to take Trump to court again in January to address the defamation. The Justice Department recently said it no longer believes Trump should be entitled to immunity in the case. Meantime, former President Trump continuing to denounce the special counsel's investigation, which could now bring Trump a third criminal indictment. Trump confirmed special counsel Jack Smith sent him a letter naming him a target into alleged efforts by him and others to overturn the 2020 election and Trump's actions around January 6th. Trump claiming the Biden administration is using the DOJ to target him, and other high-ranking Republicans are agreeing with him.
The DOJ is, in fact, weaponizing the tools of our country against their political opponents.
ABC News learning the special counsel's target letter includes 3 federal statutes: conspiracy to defraud the U.S., witness tampering, and deprivation of rights under color of law, which applies when someone in authority uses their power to deny the constitutional rights of other Americans. Just ahead on ABC 6 News, first at 4, new details surfacing about the American soldier who crossed into North Korea, the trouble he was in just before that happened. Plus, Hawaii now in a state of emergency as Tropical Storm Calvin moves through. We'll tell you which island is expected to be hit the hardest. And hospitals struggling as many continue succumbing to heat-related illnesses. Why there is no end in sight for these hot temperatures. You're watching ABC 6, Southern New England's trusted news source.